This is like a dream come true. Never gotten to captain a ship before. Never would have thought I'd get a chance like this. Thank you, y'all.
The pleasure's all ours. Think we'll catch up to her?
Of course we will. They got too much weight on them. Meanwhile, this ship's carrying nothing but us salty scalawags. They got a good head start on us, but we can take them.
Do you know if there are any Danans on that ship?
Couldn't say for sure. On the one hand, seeing as it's supposed to be something of another castle, I'd reckon they probably wouldn't let a bunch of Danans on board. On the other hand, I'd be real surprised if the Renans were able to pilot that thing all by themselves. In any case, it's gonna be a while before we reach her. Till then, you're all free to do whatever. Just don't fall in the ocean.
I know Malabar said we could take it easy, but there's not exactly a lot to do on this boat. I guess I'll check in on everyone and see how they're holding up.
I took a look around inside the ship just in case, but I didn't find anything that looked like it might be suspicious.
Thanks, I appreciate it.
You know, it wasn't until I left Calaglia that I finally realized just how big the world is.
When we tore down the wall in Calaglia, and I could finally see the horizon in the far-off distance, I had the exact same thought.
Yeah, somehow the sea is different though. I'm not sure just how to put it. It's almost as if it just goes on forever. I bet my old man would have been blown away by this view.
Yeah.
Ever since he died, I've been thinking about what it was that he was really trying to say to me at the end. I keep going over his words again and again. And heck, maybe I'm just overthinking it all. But still, sometimes I wonder if it could have turned out differently. If there was something I could have done. But no matter how much I play it back, I'm still no closer to finding any answers. And then there's everything with Rinwell. I stopped her from killing Almadria, but was that really the right thing to do? Or did I just end up making things harder for her? I feel like such a screw-up.
You're not the only one. I keep asking myself what Zephyr would have done had he been here. Like I think, how would Zephyr have handled Rinwell?
Yeah, I think he definitely would have stopped her. No doubt about it.
And that's exactly what you did, Law. I think he'd be really proud of you.
Alphen.
Zephyr's not the worst yardstick to measure ourselves against. Let's both do our best to make him proud.
Sounds like a deal. Thanks, Alphen.
Hold that pose long enough and someone might just come along and paint you.
Any artist who'd see fit to paint me needs their eyes tested.
What can you tell me about Almadria?
Not as much as you'd probably wish. I only ended up crossing paths with her a handful of times, after I was chosen to be a lord on Lenegis.
Ah, right. I almost forgot about Lenegis. How much do you think they know about what's been going on down here?
It's safe to assume they know everything, though I know not why they choose to remain uninvolved. Perhaps they see what's been happening as just part of the ongoing crown contest.
Even what Almadria did? Has it really reached the point where her actions are seen as normal?
Not to my knowledge, no. At its core, the crown contest is a competition to see who can amass the most astral energy. And to amass such energy, slaves are needed to collect it from. It's therefore against the Lord's interest to kill them.
So then why would Almadria do something like that?
We must remember that time is running out in the crown contest. Perhaps her hand was forced, so to speak. It is a way to accrue astral energy faster and in larger quantities than through slave labor. Doing so kills off that labor force, obviously, but it is a means to an end nonetheless. No one could have foreseen that something like the Hollowing would arise back when the contest was first conceived.
Is becoming the Sovereign of Rena really that important to the Lords?
Of course. It's the greatest prize one can attain in their eyes. In that respect, at least, I'm really not that surprised that Almeidrea resorted to what she did, as utterly despicable as it is.
It's reassuring to hear you feel the same way I do.
I worry that the only reason I never did anything similar in Menancia was due to my lack of ambition.
If you didn't want to be reminded of your past, you could have just plugged your ears.
You think too highly of me. I'm afraid I must respectfully disagree. I'm not nearly as virtuous of a person as you might wish to believe.
If that's so, would you have been so shaken up when Kisara lost her brother? Why else would you turn your back on your own kind and choose to fight for Miguel's dream? Aren't we just Danans?
A curious choice of words. Did what you see in Mahag Saar hit you that hard?
What Deadheim did to that city, he didn't liberate anyone. Anyone who refused to follow him was an enemy in his eyes. 300 years of Renan rule taught him nothing.
What I have come to understand is that the conflict extends beyond Danan versus Renan. There is an internal quarrel as well. I mean to bring about a true, lasting coexistence in Menancia. But there are more walls we must topple first.
And you don't think you can pull it off?
Well, you seem to think you can, at least.
Does that make us enemies?
Insofar as an exchange of swordplay, no, it doesn't.
Not good enough for you?
Are you really... Forgive me. I will continue to fight by your side a while longer. That much I have decided.
Do you think Law is okay?
If you're worried, why don't you ask him yourself?
Yeah. I think maybe I should apologize to him too. I should apologize to all of you, really.
Us too?
Well, I was kinda lying to you all this whole time. I was blind to everything except my own revenge. I never even considered the struggles all of you might be facing.
We all have things we'd prefer to keep to ourselves, Rinwell. So what if you had something to hide? It doesn't undo the good that you've done, or the people that you've helped save along the way.
But that's not what I mean.
I know. You're talking about Almeidrea, right?
Yeah. I hate her, Alphen. I can't stop hating her. Even just thinking about her makes my head feel like it's going to explode. But it's not just her. I think about the way Law looked at me. I hated the Lord who killed my parents. And I hated the Renans I had to travel alongside. And yet, Cyslodia's Danans backstab each other like it's a normal way of life. And Mahag Saar has people like Deadheim. But then there are people like Law and Shion. It's all just too much. I don't know what to think anymore.
Law never said that you had to forgive Almeidrea. It's only natural you would hate your family's murderer. But
But what?
Law left home because of how much he hated his father. As a result of that, well, I think Law spent a lot of time thinking about how they never got to make things right. And if I had to guess, killing Ganabel didn't make any of those feelings go away. Law let revenge fuel him, and I think now he's afraid you'll do something you'll regret.
Afraid?
Whatever happens to Almeidrea when this is all over is up to you. I'll respect whatever choice you make. Just think it over carefully for me, okay? You still have time.
Okay. Thanks, Alphen. Say, back then, after the fight, I think I really made Xion mad. I don't know though, maybe it just looked that way. But I guess I just can't seem to understand how she feels. Do you know why she gets like that?
Xion's... She can be a tough nut to crack. She doesn't really talk a whole lot about herself.
It's just what she said about hate being a source of strength. Where did that come from? I wonder how it feels, not being able to hold another person's hand.
Me much further, you'll go overboard. Keeping an eye out for Almadria's ship?
I'm looking at the ocean.
The ocean?
Yeah. The waves. They help me think. This world is filled with natural wonders. The icy air and white peaks of Cyslodia. The lush green glades of Menancia. The harsh wastes of Calaglia. But Menancia has its Lake of Death, and Nias its ruins. And they wouldn't be there if it weren't for that contest.
Say we actually manage to put a stop to the crown contest for good. What do you think will happen between the Dahnans and the Renans then?
You first.
Well, I want to believe that the coexistence we saw in Menancia can happen elsewhere, too. It's insane for all of us to keep fighting. If Menancia can do it, so can everyone else.
Yeah, I think that would be good too. A world where everyone can get along. At least, that's what I've come to believe.
You sure have changed.
I can't lie to you. Since I was young, I've looked down on the Dahnans too. But I've seen a lot. And I see things differently now. I've seen so many ugly and terrible things in this world. And yet, they didn't come from just the Dahnans. And the good things too. They didn't come from just the Renans. Kindness and cruelty exist on both sides. A person's race doesn't factor into it. So, I guess you're right after all, Alphen. I have changed. You know, I've never actually touched another person like this.
Xion.
Ever since I was on Lenegis, I've always been alone. Even after I came to Dahna. Always.
And now?
Do you still not remember your past?
No. Sometimes it feels like I can almost remember. But then this mask stops me.
The mask keeps you from remembering why you have the mask in the first place. It's a little ironic, isn't it?
A little. Well, it won't be long now before you're rid of those thorns, you know? Only 2 lords remain. And once you have their master course, you'll be able to create the Renis Alma, right? Then you can... Shion?
Sorry, it's nothing. Promise. You're right, though. It'll all be over soon. I never could have made it this far on my own. I have everyone to thank for that. Including... especially you, Alphen.
Don't worry about it. We're friends, after all.
Yeah, we are.
You don't look so good. Are you all right?
The floor. It keeps moving. How can you stand it? How can you even stand?
I'm not the best person to ask about discomfort. I can't feel pain, remember?
I still can't believe what happened in Niez. Even now. As a lord, my expectations for Almeidrea were already pretty low. But the way she treated human lives like they're mere playthings.
Yeah. And it wasn't as if the situation in Niez was improving much to begin with.
You mean Deadheim?
The whole reason I started fighting back was because of my anger at the atrocities of Renan rule. Back then, all I had to worry about was fighting the Renans for the sake of the Dahnans. But then I met Shion and the people of Menancia, and things became a lot more complicated. It's even messier now that we have to worry about Dahnans like Deadheim.
It used to be that the Dahnans were the ones in the right, and the Renans were the ones in the wrong. Though, maybe that was just a biased perspective from being on the side of the oppressed.
Exactly. I'll never tolerate the Renans ruling over us. But nothing ever ends up being as black and white as you'd expect it to be either. That's clear to me now.
That said, even putting aside bad apples like Deadheim for a moment, you may be able to free the Dahnan people. But that won't undo 300 years of oppression. It'll be hard for them to not give in to their resentment. I think maybe that's why I clung to our dream so hard back in Menancia.
Even if his motivations weren't pure, Dohalim has a good heart. He didn't sink to the depths Almeidrea did.
You don't understand. I'm saying that it goes deeper than that. This hierarchy we live in, it's not solely something the Renans invented. I remember a story Rinwell once told me. She said before the Renans invaded, we Dahnans had our own class system. We are the ones who divided ourselves. I saw it in Deadheim's eyes. He wanted to rule over others.
To hear Bayfon tell it, Deadheim wasn't always that way.
But as time went on, and he and the Darkwings fought the Renans, he eventually changed. I guess what I'm getting at is, if we defeat the Renans but just go back to the way things were before, was there even any point in fighting?
But that world isn't the one you want to create, right?
Maybe not. But to tell you the truth, these days I'm not so sure that dream is even possible.
You have your promise to Megal, though. Your home and the people of Menancia are depending on you.
I know. My brother. He truly believed in his dream of coexistence. And I suppose, even now, many people still do. And then, there's you.
Who, me?
You and Shion.
I'm not sure I follow.
Okay, then let me spell it out for you. How many other Renans and Dahnans do you know that get on as spectacularly as the two of you?
I don't know that I'd say spectacularly.
Well, I suppose it's really all a matter of how you look at it, isn't it?
I really don't see what you're getting.
Ugh, I think I'm getting seasick again. sorry. Can you just give me a wide berth for a few minutes?
Wonder how much longer it's going to be before we catch up to Almeidrea. I'll ask Mahavar.
Look who's up! Good timing. We're closing in on her stern as we speak.
That's the ship? She's huge. Law, go gather the others, will you? Think you'll be able to flank them without getting spotted?
Yeah, with the fog as our ally, I think I might just pull it off. Long as we ain't too noisy, we should be okay.
What'll you do if they catch on to us?
Not much I can do. Ship that size, they'll probably blow us to bits before we ready cannons.
Persistent little things. Evidently, I shouldn't have spared the wretched vermin. Hungry already, my dear? Worry not, for you shall have plenty to feast upon shortly.
Perfect. You managed to get us right up beside them.
I'll stay with the ship so we can leave as soon as you're done.
Good. Then let's find Almeidrea.
Now that's what I call a ship!
Yeah. The biggest one in all of Mahag-Saar. So big that it took years to construct.
For all we know, Keltalik may well have been smuggling materials to help build it. In which case it would be yet another mistake on my part.
We don't know that she was only getting materials from Menancia.
You think it's possible that they might have come from elsewhere too? Yeah, I guess I could see it.
But what do you think Almeidrea plans to do from here on out, now that she's abandoned her realm and sailed out to sea?
She'll be filling her coffers with gold, most likely. Then she'll sit back and enjoy the show as the other lords duke it out. Or something to that effect, at least.
I wouldn't put it past her.
She's strong, yet shrewd, and will stoop to any low. A dangerous one indeed.
She's not the first, and she won't be the last. This is a lord we're talking about, remember?
Sounds like you've made up your mind already.
There was never anything to decide. No one who can smile like that while doing what she did deserves to roam free.
Yeah. Yeah, you're right.
This might not be the best time, but if you have a minute. That mask of yours, it was shattered by a blow from Balsev when you fought back in Calaglia, correct?
Yeah, thanks for the reminder. I thought it was a goner.
Balsev's brute strength was in a league all its own, yet half the mask remains. It's remarkably durable. too durable to be Dahnan in origin.
Shion said the same thing. As if the fact I was wearing it meant there had to be more to me than met the eye.
You recalled your name when the mask broke, I hear.
Yeah, that's right. Although to tell you the truth, I'm a little scared what might happen when I lose the remaining half. Then again, the idea of not doing something because I'm afraid scares me even more. That's why I go on fighting.
Only he who first faces the night catches a glimpse of the dawn.
Come again?
It's nothing. Forget I said anything.
Way.
Someone engaging! You're mine! It's over!
I'm ready.
Severing wing! Fire support!
Raging storm! Go!
Dragon Swarm! Dragon Swarm! Support! Mission!
Mega Ray! Supernova!
Legion snelling to me.
Yeah!
Dragon Swarm! To me! Easter!
Water Astral! Here go! Here I go!
First strike!
And again!
Dragon Swarm!
A comfortable win.
No backing down! I can carve through armor! My deal?
Spirit Flame! Release to me! Glacial Spear! I'll here take my revenge on you!
I see what it is! Quiver Dragon! Dragon Swarm! Support! Mission!
Not on my watch! Heavy Flame of Fury! Burning Strike! Water! Here on Come here! I'll be leading this one!
This should make for some good weapon crafting material. Huh?
Got it!
It's on! Dragon Swarm!
Anything in armor is yours! Lightning Condemned! Thunder Flame!
Carve through! What's this?
Spirit Flame! These ones can run rings around us!
Dragon Swarm! I'm on it! We did it! Talon Hurricane! Dragon Swarm! Dragon! Eagle Assault!
Lunar
Too
Collision!
fast!
Stand back!
I'll trip it up. You're finished!
Lightning! Downfall!
You're mine!
Do it!
Remove!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
That went well.
Are you okay? You're not too tired, are you?
Nope, I'm fine. Let's keep moving.
down!
Go get lightning condensed! By the power!
War now!
Radiant
I'll
power!
punch that gun out of your hand! I'm on!
We have astral energy! Light astral energy!
It's almost too strong.
Split it apart! Be my guest!
Ready! I'll heal you
Someone
all!
win! Rising Falcon!
Raging cascade!
I owe you one!
Steel!
Dragon
Hear my
Swarm!
call!
First strike! I owe you one!
Anything in order!
Dragon Swarm!
I'm practically unstoppable.
Go no further!
Dragon Swarm! I can carve through armor! My shield!
Where are you going? Lightning condensed!
Dragon Swarm! Burn it!
You think that shield will save you? This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lightning condensed!
Dragon Swarm!
Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
I've been doing really great lately.
No backing down! Dragon I won't show you any mercy! Don't leave! Blow them away!
Hear me! Flame of
Dragon
fury!
Swarm!
Here's evil!
You're on! Dragon Swarm! It's on! Dragon Swarm! Blow them away!
Could have been worse.
Get lost!
I can carve through armor!
Not on my watch!
Dragon Swarm!
You'll do it for what you did! Astral energy!
Say no more.
Dragon Swarm! I'll finish you here and now! Dragon Swarm!
Get toasty!
Bird Strike!
Well then, let's keep moving.
Right, here goes! Dragon Swarm!
Healing
Someone win!
Lightning orb!
They really don't give up, do they?
Got you now! Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation! Hyperion! Flame of fury!
Dragon Swarm!
Last year. Here's evil!
I'll run you through! Go away! Burn! Dragon Swarm! Try this! Take this! Explosive ring! I can carve through all things in an instant! Impact block!
Onward and upward. Never seen anything like it.
It's an authentication key. They're quite common.
Maybe where you're from, but this is new to me.
It might go in an elevator somewhere. We should test it out.
Thank you. It's a duel of the arts.
Do it! Shion!
Get toasty!
Burn strike!
Lightning condemned!
Got fire!
I've got this! Let a marksman handle it!
All yours!
Glacial spear! Pierce
The
evil!
enemy wields arts too.
We'll soon see about that!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it!
Lightning orb!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion. Right, here goes! Now you learn!
Now in the groove!
You picked the wrong fight!
Astral energy!
Say no more! Dragon Swarm!
Spear! Pierce evil!
See what happened there as you crossed me. Shouldn't have done that.
Raging cascade!
I'll smash you!
If it's in the sky, it's mine! I'll be saving this one!
Now I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Talon hurricane!
Dragon Swarm!
Eagle! Now I'm in the
This one's
groove!
mine!
Talon storm!
Sleep now! Here, let me
Talon
help!
hurricane!
This one's all mine! Eat them!
Tear you apart!
Dragon Swarm!
Annihilation!
Come on a roll now! Eagle Dawn! I'll tear you apart! Come on a roll now!
Dragon Swarm!
Confiscated!
Dragon Swarm!
Eagle shattering of pieces! Attack time!
Take that! Do it!
Remove!
Astral energy!
Say no more!
Let's refrain from losing.
Out of our way!
Dragon Swarm!
Raging cascade!
You're on! Severing
I'll
Wing!
finish you here and now! Do it! Talon hurricane!
Lightning!
Eagle
I'll
Dawn!
this one!
Now I'm in the groove!
Reload!
Take this!
Talon
It's
hurricane!
over!
Damn it!
Too fast!
Stand back. I'll trip it up.
Eat
Roll
this!
it snap!
Dragon Swarm!
Correction! I'm all dance in the wind! Air thrust!
Eat this! I'll run you through!
Now! Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood. These don't seem like your run-of-the-mill Zoogles the Renans usually keep around.
Indeed. I believe it's safe to assume these were used in her experiments.
They certainly look as twisted as her.
Even here. This is...
Anything
dispose of the trash.
Armor won't save you!
Take down their defenses! We're not finished!
Where are you going? This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Pesky airborne scoundrel.
Sounds like a job for yours truly. That's my cue.
Shut him down! Ignite! Severing Wing!
These six have got your name on them!
Rising Falcon! I know you
Do
want.
it!
Go! In an instant! Impact Block!
Excited. Hit! More without me,
Dragon Swarm!
Bullseye! Do it!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! One deadly strike, just as ordered.
chance one of your friends, Hoodle?
What is that huge flower-looking thing up there? Is that the ship's engine?
Indubitably. As one might expect, large ships require large engines in order to sail.
And if we destroyed it?
We might well sink the ship. Who knows if we would be able to escape before that happens.
Almeidria sure has been busy since the contest began.
This isn't Almeidria's doing.
You mean she didn't build this?
The body, yes. However, my guess is that the engine comes from a starship.
A starship? As in one of those vessels used to go to and from Lenegis?
Correct. The technology employed on Lenegis and in starships is more advanced than anything in our daily lives. Almeidria may be resourceful, but she could never produce an engine like this on her own.
You mean to tell me we've got even bigger enemies waiting for us up in the sky? Ugh, my head hurts just thinking about it.
Don't worry about that for now. Just focus on taking care of Almeidria. What's this thing?
It's on! Armor won't save you!
My deal?
Dragon Sword!
We're not finished!
No steel can stand up to these fists!
Dragon Sword! Try harder! This one's your line! Dragon Sword!
Do it! Say! Blow them away!
Let's refrain from losing.
Gotta break through! Now you'll learn! Burn! Dragon Sword! Win! Dragon Sword! You're mine!
I'm on that!
Do it! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Lightning condemned!
Dragon Sword!
Thunderblade! Gemini Onward! Hurricane!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
Hi, Hoodle!
Dragon Swarm! I see one, eh?
Raging Storm!
Armor won't save you!
My shield! Dragon Swarm!
In the corner!
We're not finished!
Do it!
Look sharp!
Lightning Tiger Blade!
Dragon Swarm!
All finished! Win! Eagle Assault! Step back! This one's all law!
You're saying we should check the Owl Forest? Looks like some solid equipment.
Gotta break through! Got you now! Severing wind! Rising circuit! I'm going in! The rebels! Not today! We're not finished!
An astronaut?
That's my cue!
It's on! Shut him down!
Do it!
Commander of Heaven!
Ready in the wind!
You're on!
Air thrust!
Too fast!
Stand back.
Carve through
I'll
armor!
trip it up.
You won't make a fool! Dragon Form!
Eagle Fly! Flame of Fury! Burning
Come
Strike!
back, will
Glacial
ya?
Spear! Raging Storm!
Try this!
Shouldn't have messed with me!
Tunnel! Freeze Burner!
Dragon Form! Dance!
Dance in the wind! Healing
Dragon Come back, will ya? Severing Wind!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
Radiant Snap! I'm out of ammo!
Dragon Swarm!
Astral Energy!
Say no more.
Any injuries?
Out of our way!
Wind! You're on! Wind!
Shining
Rising Falcon! Severing Wind! You're mine! It's over!
Sleep now!
You're finished! Wind!
Feel! If it's in the
You're
sky,
on!
it's mine!
Severing Wind!
Swallow
Leave
dance!
the ensnaring to me.
I'm out!
Wind! You're on!
All good things.
You're mine! Here I come!
Raging Storm!
Dragon Shout!
Tunnel!
Rising Falcon!
Light Astral Energy!
Wind!
Spear!
I'm on
Evil!
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
I'm practically unstoppable. It'll be a breeze. Get in, get out.
Engaging! Damn it! You're on! Dragon Swarm! You picked the wrong fight!
I'm the true gunslinger around here.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
Excited.
I'll finish you off. Eagle Assault!
Hey, I'm pretty.
And thus our strength yet grows.
Gotta break through! Wind!
This one's mine.
You're on! Severing Wind!
Go! And again! This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Excited. Got you. Raging Storm!
Severing Wind! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
Glimmer Drag! I'll finish you here and now!
I owe you a nice day!
Raging Storm! Confiscated!
Dragon Swarm!
I'll run you
Here I
through!
come! Lightning Orb! Spread! Dance in the
Should've
wind!
messed
Here's
with me.
evil.
Try harder!
Air thrust!
Almost there!
Freeze laser! Cover the caster!
Dragon Force! I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! First strike!
Glacial spear! Pierce evil!
I'll smash you!
Water astral laser! Mega ray!
What did you do?
Charge like that could easily be fatal.
Just as well, I'm here to stop.
Dragon Force! Talon Hurricane! This one's all mine!
Your side!
I'll be okay. Try harder! Not today! Dragon Force! Dragon Force!
Where are you going?
Dragon Force! Doubly! In an instant! Impact Block!
Here, let me help.
Dragon Force! Dragon Shell! I'm just getting started! Dragon Force! Win!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more.
We're still standing. Barely.
She sure spared no expense on her castle.
This must be...
The captain's quarters. The presence of the spirit vessel and the sheer extravagance on display can leave no doubt.
There's no one here.
Yeah, but I doubt she's out for a moonlight stroll. You think she jumped ship and ran away again?
I doubt it. The conniving witch is probably up to something.
Agreed. In any case, as long as she hasn't suddenly sprouted wings, she has to be somewhere on the ship. Let's keep looking. The way this key's been placed, it's like she's daring us to come find her.
Yeah, like it's all some damn game to her.
What's wrong, sweetie? Is something scaring you?
Maybe he just doesn't like being in her room.
I think there's more to it than that. What could it be?
Is this the ship's cargo? What a pain. I can't see anything past all this stuff.
Be on your guard. For all we know, there could be something hiding around here. Commander of Heaven!
Phoenix Cyclops!
The enemy wields ours too.
We'll soon see about that!
My shield? Eat this!
Healing
I'll finish you here and now!
We're not finished!
Fear evil!
Save me!
Now! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Am I on a roll or what?
Well, look who's in a bright and shiny mood.
Little help! Glacier Spear! Here's Eagle! Freeze Lancer!
Fire support!
Dragon Dragon! Lunar Corruption!
Fall back!
Thunder Lightning can handle this!
Support! Mission!
It's almost too strong.
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw!
There!
Armor won't save you!
Thunderblade! I can do this all day! Do it! Dance to the wind! Astral energy!
Say no more!
Right here! Flame of
We're not finished! Eagle assault!
Our work is done here. Let's move.
I'm right behind you, Shion.
I'll shoot them out of the sky!
Taloned Hurricane! Eagle Fly!
Here I go!
Aim for the weak spot! Roll now! Dragon Swarm!
Where are you going? Mega Ray! Lightning! War with that Astral! It's weakened!
This ends now! Dragon Swarm! I'm just getting started! Severing Wind! Taloned Hurricane! Dragon! Ripping Dragon Swarm! What's this?
Lightning! Raging Cascade! I'm out!
Dragon Shout!
I'm weak now!
Bolero! Dragon Swarm! Take this! It's over! Armor won't save you!
Here! Can't this world!
Dragon Swarm!
Hurricane! Here!
Glimmer Dragon!
You picked the wrong
I'm out of
fight!
ammo!
Dragon Swarm! These fists have got your name on them!
Healing Circle! Dance in the wind! Air thrust! Cover the caster!
I'll crush you! Lightning reflexes! Tenebrous claw! Dragon Swarm! Eat this! Hurricane!
Confiscated!
That's freaking Dragon Swarm! Dragon Shout! Lunar Dragon!
Lunar Blast!
Dragon Swarm!
Do it! Astral energy!
Say no more! This should make for some good weapon crafting material. Did that get rid of the barrier?
We'll just have to go back and check.
If Almadria's not in her own room, just where the hell is she?
It's possible she may be on the bridge, but I would guess that she's waiting for us elsewhere on the ship.
Which means she's most likely chosen a place where she'll have the advantage in a fight.
Be careful, guys. I came from an entire family of Danon mages, and that woman murdered all of them. All on her own. I hate to say it, but she's an incredibly powerful astral artist.
We already know she specializes in controlling wind astral energy. But on top of that, she might try to sick that monster on us again, too.
Right. To that woman, life itself is just a toy for her to play with. Let's make sure we put an end to it. Only one last place to look. Straight ahead.
Almeidrea.
There she is! Almeidrea!
But all alone? Watch yourselves. She's probably planning something.
I was getting rather tired of waiting around. Oh my, and I see you came along as well, Danon Witch.
Almeidrea.
What's this? I thought you couldn't stand the sight of me. Go on, little one. Show me the full force of that hatred of yours. Otherwise, run and hide like a rat you are.
That's enough! How can you smile while causing pain to so many others?
That is the way of those who possess great power. The very way we Renans live by. Those with power set the example, and those without it are forced to obey. Though you two seem to have forgotten that's the way these things work.
And you really think that justifies your actions? You turned all those people into a hollowed sea!
What foolishness. It's only natural that the fate of a slave differ from that of its owner. Very well, I admit I did fan the flames just a tad back in Miez. But it wouldn't have mattered in the slightest if there hadn't been a spark to ignite. Without it, my actions would have been fruitless. Ultimately, it was their very own burning hatred that laid them to waste. To say it was all my fault is simply laying blame at the wrong feet.
No one's perfect. We all have darkness in our hearts. But the atrocities that you've committed, they're unthinkable! Your heart is nothing but darkness!
What a fool! To think time and time again you would challenge Renan authority without so much as an inkling of how things actually work. Such ignorance is why your kind has been enslaved for 300 years.
Almeidrea.
Well, if it isn't Lord Dohalim.
These people are my allies and friends. I won't let you insult them so.
My, what a shock. I never would have expected you to claim mere slaves as your companions. If I didn't know any better, I would question your noble lineage. Oh, how far the mighty have fallen. A traitor such as yourself hardly deserves to be called a lord.
You are nothing compared to Dohalim.
Rinwell.
He would never stand by and laugh. His people hollowed!
Ha! What does it matter? You're descended from those who allowed the power and knowledge entrusted to them to wither away. Your pitiful family may have feared it, but I do not. That knowledge and power is all mine to command. And now, You will witness what that power's truly capable of! Mesmold! Enjoy your meal!
Such sad eyes, child. Let me reunite you with your parents.
Shut up! I'm gonna take you down if it's the very last thing I do!
That's right. Loathe me. Every step brings you closer to being me!
You're wrong! You're wrong! I'm nothing like you! Gemini Age Supernova! Raging Hurricane!
Dragon Form!
We now ride! More for the Southside!
I'm on it!
Lunar Corruption!
Burn!
Raging Tsunami! More with that
Dragon Form!
Razor Cyclone!
No further! Dragon Form!
Searing Flame! Reload!
Ignore your flame.
Searing Flame! Reload! Back into the fray!
Dragon Form!
By the power of water!
Rip and tear!
Lightning Orb!
I can carve through
Raging Cascade!
Dragon Form!
Here's Edge in the wind! In here! Freeze Laser! More for the Southside!
I'm on a roll now! Not today!
Eagle Stay away!
Dragon Form!
Raging Cascade!
What foolishness!
Severing Wind!
This one's mine! Dance in the wind! Mega Ray! Here, let me help!
What's she doing now?
She's infusing her beast with more power.
Get ready!
Try harder!
Dance in the wind!
Watch this! Dragon Form!
Ready and ready! Lunar Blast! Dance in the wind! Squeeze now! More for the Southside!
Dragon Form!
Know your place.
Raging Cascade!
Try harder! Dragon Form!
Talon
Hurricane!
Now I'm in the groove.
This one's all mine!
Save you. Brimming with hatred.
Burn!
Dragon
Form!
Not on my watch!
dare
Lunar Corruption!
Talon Hurricane!
Lunar Blast! Back into the
Eagle
wind!
Dive!
Talon Sword!
Try harder! Dragon Form!
Here we go! Raging Flame!
What's
this? Tunnel! Light Lunar Blast in the
No
wind!
further!
Eagle Fly! Seal! Back into the fray! I'll be saving this one! This one's mine!
Right! Dragon Form! Hurricane!
Thunder Blade! You must healing flame of
Dissolve!
spirit! Burning Strike! Here I come! Where are you going?
Rip and tear!
Now I'm in the groove.
Burn! Chill!
This ends now!
Consider yourself finished!
Dragon
Form!
Here goes!
Dragon Form!
Healing Circle! Light Astral Raging Cascade!
I owe you now! They're attacking separately! Can't land a hit on her!
Keep an eye on her. And take out the monster first.
Try harder!
She's no stranger to astral arts.
I can take care of that.
Yeah! Take it away! I'm on it!
Here's a healing heart!
Try harder! Ah! Thanks!
You will.
Here's the evil!
Sword Rain Alpha!
Freeze Laser!
Coming through! Ha! Now! Scarlet Inferno!
Raging Storm!
Prepare to be
Come now.
I'm ready!
Lightning Orb!
I'm just getting started!
Raging
Dragon
Storm!
Form!
Tunnel!
Dragon
Here's a healing
Form!
dance in the wind!
Here! Try harder!
Not on my watch! Dance in the wind!
Can't be happening.
Stay away from my friend!
Dance in the wind! Air thrust! A new lease on life. Resuscitation!
Here we go! This should do it! Dragon Form!
I can carve through. I'll finish you here and now.
Lightning orb! Back into the foot. I'm ready! Light astral energy! This one's mine!
Burn in hell!
I'm just getting started.
Dragon Swarm!
Mega
Go away!
By the power
Here's how it does it.
Once and for all! Light astral energy!
No further!
Whirlwind snap. Far enough. Eat this.
Healing circle! Turnover! Raging cascade!
Roll now.
Dragon Swarm!
Lightning condense!
This should do it!
Bring you back from here goes!
Try harder!
Resuscitation!
Right.
Here's a healing art! First aid!
This should do it!
Annihilation! Hear me! Flame of fury! Not in your dreams!
Dragon Swarm!
You
will suffer!
Hear my call!
Ready and rare.
Spread!
Now I'll be
Flame of fury! Burning!
Leave the chart!
That looks bad.
Wits about you, people!
Raging cascade! Radiant here!
Dragon Swarm!
Radiant here! I'll never forgive you!
What?
I'll take you down! I'll end you! Here I come! Astral energy!
Say no more!
You murdered my mother and father. But I'm not like you.
Rinwell.
Even now, I hate you. But here I am, unable to let go. Honestly, even if I took my hatred out on you here and now, it wouldn't make me feel any better in the long run. I realize that now. So, I won't kill you. I'll take you in and make damn sure justice is served the right way.
You would dare mock me with your foolish, useless pity? A Danon, nothing more than a mere slave. I won't allow you to...
It's not about what you think. Or being Danon or Renan. Because you'll atone for the crimes you committed. And that's all.
It's that swordsman again!
Lord Volron, what brings you here? No, forgive me. I've forgotten myself. Please allow me to make it up to you, my lord.
Silence now, wretched snake. Does it hurt? It should. That pain is proof you're still alive. Enjoy it.
Volron. Years ago, the Lord of Ganeth Haros met a sudden death, his successor was a man by that very name, Volron.
And like a restless lover, I've come back for more.
Stop right there!
Think you can cut me down? What?
Wait, what just happened to him? Alvin! Say something! Let go of me! Let me go!
Xion!
Alvin!
Xion!
Alvin!
Come and find me, if you truly are the Sovereign. After all this time, I'll be free from this hell. I can finally go home. I doubt I'll ever see this place again. Might as well walk the block once more for old time's sake. As usual, nobody wants to explain anything to me. They just threaten and harass me instead. What does everyone think I am? Some sort of talking pet? They're the ones that dragged me all the way up here in the first place. Bastards. I shouldn't have bothered coming out. Might as well head back to my room. I just wanted to go back. To Dana. To my home.
Alphen.
Iori.
Alphen. Live for me.
No. Iori. No! Wait, please. Wait, What was that? That... How long ago was that? That's right. Shion. Oh, right. That's what pain felt like. So much for it all being a bad dream. Where am I? Where is everyone? I need to find them. Better start looking. Niori. Shion. Damn it.
Wind! Miraka! Dragon Swarm! Severing Wind! Mirage! Take this! Wind! Mirage! Dragon Swarm! Here I come! It's over! Dragon Swarm! Severing Wind! This one's all mine! Eat dirt! Dragon Swarm! Wind! Mirage! Wind! Mirage! Strike! Dragon Swarm! Wind! Mirage! I'm not my turn! Sword Rain Alpha! Dragon Swarm! Sword Rain Alpha! No escape! Dragon Swarm! Wind! Mirage! Take this! It's over! It's on! Mirage! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm! This should do it! Wind! Mirage! Take this! Severing Wind! Rising Falcon!
Alvin?
Rinwell!
What happened just now? Normally you'd be able to take that thing with your eyes closed.
Thank goodness you're alive. Are you all right?
Yeah.
I'm just glad we found you in one piece. You were the only one still missing. There's a village back the way we came from, Thistleim. Kisara and La are already there.
Rinwell, where are we?
Ganeth Haros, Volron's realm. Remember?
Ushered by the waves straight to the enemy stronghold. A rare stroke of luck, it would seem.
Luck?
If Volron's here, that means Shion's close too, right?
Shion? Oh. Right. Of course.
Are you sure you're feeling okay? You seem a little off.
He's probably just exhausted. Let's save the catching up for when we're back at the village.
I think Huro senses an owl around here. bit high.
Dragon
Just
Form!
back it out again.
I'm not done!
Elusive deity! I'll thank
Mirage! Dragon Swarm!
Shining Supernova!
Elusive deity!
My Astral Edge
How
Raging
escape?
Cascade! Sleep now,
Severing
Legend.
Wind!
More for the stockpile!
Here I come! Take this!
Raging Storm! More where that came from! Flawless Flight!
Severing Wind! Mirage! It's on! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Swarm!
Shining Supernova! Raging Cascade! Spread! Dance in the wind!
Severing Wind!
Air drop!
Rising Falcon!
Now!
Take this! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Small, but a victory nonetheless.
We have a long way yet to go.
Speaking of Thistleland, it's populated by Danans, but they're not under the rule of any lord. Pretty refreshing, huh? The whole town was built by Danan defectors, escapees from elsewhere. This area's teeming with stray Zeugles, though, so heaven only knows how they managed to set up a community here. The ordeal seems to have left them understandably on edge. Kisara and La are back there right now, trying to convince them of our good intentions. Say, Elfin, it looks like you got your face back then.
Yeah,
And your sense of pain, too, it would seem. Any connection?
Really? Oh, but that means...
probably.
I wonder if Alphin's going to be okay.
For now, I believe we should hold off on speculation and simply keep an eye on him.
Right. Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Alphin! Boy, am I glad to see you safe.
Well, did you manage to convince them we're not in league with any lord?
Yeah, eventually.
When the ship sank, I thought we were done for. Guess the world just couldn't keep us apart.
Yeah, and now we can finally go rescue Shion.
There's something I need to tell you guys first. I got my memory back.
So, what did you remember? Are you able to tell us now?
Give the man some space, Law.
I remember being up on Lenegis.
Go on.
I was abducted from Dano. I was told if I ever wanted to return home, I'd have to cooperate. So that's what I did. Next thing I knew, they had made me into the Sovereign.
You mean to say you won the crown contest? As a Dahnan?
No. They kept me locked in a strange facility. They experimented on me, like I was nothing more than an animal. There were others, but only I survived. Of course, I wasn't really a king. The reality was that they treated me worse even than the lowest slave. The only reason I survived was because my body was able to withstand the Sovereign's power that they placed inside me.
The crest that appeared behind you on Almadria's ship must have undoubtedly been that of the Sovereign. It all makes sense now. Your affinity with the Blazing Sword, and the strange powers you possess, they were all because you were the Sovereign.
Okay, but why would the Renans go out of their way to give you all that power? Just what exactly does being the Sovereign entail?
They said it was for something called the Spirit Channeling Ceremony. They taught me how to harness my power for when the big day came. As for what the ceremony was actually for, unfortunately, I never found out.
So if what you're saying about being on Lenegis is true, then maybe you really did meet Xion. After all, you said you recognized her from somewhere, right?
But Xion said she'd never seen him before. How do you explain that?
I was wrong. It wasn't Xion I knew from Lenegis. It was Naori. She was a Renan maiden they paired me with during the spirit channeling ceremony. She's the woman I kept seeing in my dreams.
A maiden? What?
Wait, so this Naori figure just happens to be the double of Xion? Bit coincidental, isn't it?
Naori's family name was Imerys.
Imerys? As in Xion Imerys?
So they're distant relatives or something? Wait, or are they sisters?
Your guess is as good as mine. All I know is it was Naori. She's the one who put the mask on me.
The mask? But why?
To keep my soul from devouring itself over the guilt. After what I did on Lenegis. Over the lives I took.
Lives? You mean you staged a rebellion?
Perhaps it was a part of this spirit channeling ceremony?
I don't know. Whatever it was that the spirit channeling ceremony was supposed to achieve, it didn't turn out as planned. I lost consciousness halfway through. By the time I came to, Lenegis was a sea of flames. I opened my eyes to see Naori there, weeping. I shudder to think of how many deaths I caused that day. Certainly more than any of these lords can claim, I'm sure.
You really expect us to believe this? First the Sovereign, then Lenegis? You couldn't possibly have done all that.
I wonder. In ancient scripture, there is tell of a terrible calamity that befell Lenegis, nearly destroying it. The restoration took years, and required the work of countless laborers.
By ancient, you mean...
It predates the Crown Contest, to a time before even the first Renan invasion of Dana. More than 300 years ago.
300? But that'd make Alphen...
That's right. I'm pretty much an antique of a human being. Deep down, maybe I already knew.
Alphen...
Some hero, huh? Cooperating with the same villains who snatched me from my home, committing mass slaughter, only for it to slip my mind. Then, when I finally remember, turns out I'm so old I've got scripture written about me. So much for standing up to injustice. I've probably got more blood on my hands than all the lords combined!
Alphen, stop! Honestly, I'm not going to pretend to understand what all this means. But what I do know is that right now, you're just reacting to the shock.
Kisara.
Listen, what you really need is time. Time to process things and get your head straight. Truth be told, I think that probably goes for all of us.
What about Shion? We can't just...
I'm worried about Shion too, Law. But it's clear that Alphen's in no fit state to fight. This is Volron, remember? Even at full capacity, it's practically a suicide mission. We stay put in the village till we're ready. Okay, everyone? Take some time to think things through, okay? But remember, we're all here for you if you need us. No matter how dark things might seem, you're not alone, Alphen.
Thank you.
It's fine. All right, everyone. Let's break for now.
Do I even have the right to fight? Do I have the right to go to Shion's rescue? What do the others think?
You're certainly full of surprises, aren't you?
Trust me, it's not intentional.
Sorry, that was insensitive of me. Though, there's still an awful lot I wish I could understand. Every new piece of information seems only to yield further mysteries. The truth feels just as elusive as when we first started. I am well aware of where you got your powers. But why, as a Danan, do you bear the same crest as the current Renan Sovereign? More to the point, Why choose a Danan for their sovereign in the first place? And then there is the Maiden, a figure so powerful, she's playing yin to the sovereign's yang in esoteric ceremonies. And yet, I've never even heard of her. Then again, this all occurred 300 years ago. What if the term sovereign doesn't even hold the same meaning as it did back then? Listen, I may be a traitor among my people, but I am still Renan, born and raised. I learned the same history, listened rapt to the same tales. And yet now I feel like there was little truth to any of it.
Speaking of which, there's something else that I remember from the spirit channeling ceremony. It used the Renis Alma.
You're certain?
Yes. Or at least that's what they called it. Only you would know if it was one and the same.
Oh, I have never laid eyes on the real artifact myself. And you never participated in a crown contest. You're not even Renan. Many mysteries lay buried in these 3 centuries past.
3 centuries is more than several lifetimes. Was I really out that long?
Well, I'm only estimating based on historical record. But all the facts would seem to point that way.
Who the hell am I?
If I may be frank, we have even bigger fish to fry than that. By comparison, the far more important question at hand is, just what does it all mean?
Frank, huh?
Sometimes, we need a little help in addressing the truth behind our pain. Not to compete over lives lost, but I suspect your count is still somewhat beneath mine.
Thanks for lending me an ear. And sorry for being a bother.
Please, no thanks are necessary. The quicker you get back on your feet, the sooner we can all get back out there.
What do you see out there?
Zeugles. Strays by the looks of it. We unwittingly disturbed their territory on our way here, and now they're looking pretty riled up. So, feel like you're making headway? You know, sorting through things?
All I know is Shion needs our help. As for what happens after that...
Say, how did you get back down here from Lenegis, anyway?
I came down in a Renan starship. I have Naori to thank for that.
What happened to her? Did she come with you?
She stayed behind. Just as I wanted to get back to Dana and my people, Naori's place was with her fellow Renans, performing her duties as the Maiden. Neither of us asked for the power or roles we were given. I suppose we felt a kinship with each other in that sense. But even then...
Wait, so you mean it wasn't just Danans like you that Lenegis abducted? You're saying they forced Naori, one of their own, to serve against her will as well?
Even within Renan society itself, there exists a hierarchy. I don't think she was ever given the option to refuse. Despite that, she did everything she possibly could to serve her people. The very same ones I ended up slaughtering. And even after that, she still helped me escape back to Dana. She stayed behind on Lenegis to help any of her people who survived. I owe her more than words can express. A debt left to fester for what? 300 years? How do I even begin to make up for something like that?
In all honesty, you don't. You can't atone for what's happened in the past. I don't think anyone can. Be it several centuries ago, or just yesterday.
What are you saying? That I might as well give up?
I'm saying you don't have to be a white knight in shining armor. Back after my brother had passed away, it was you who told me that his dream lived on inside me. And you did the same for him, for Dohalim, when he was ready to give up too. You were there for both of us. You know what I heard? I heard you telling me to keep fighting, to strive no matter what.
Then I was out of line. I had no right to ask that of you.
No, you're wrong. Those words were exactly what I needed to hear at the time. In fact, I would go as far as to say that I wouldn't even be here had I not heard them. Left to my own devices, who knows when I would have been able to pick myself up. Besides, it's not like killing all those people was a choice that you made of your own free will, right? The truly terrible ones are the people who abducted you. The ones who forced you to wield that power. They're the ones you should be blaming. Not only that, but that guilt you feel inside, that's all the proof you need to know you're a good person, Alphen. Do you understand? If I'm still allowed to fight and keep on living, then damn it, Alphen, so the hell are you. But, if you're still not convinced, then ask yourself this. What is it that you've really been fighting for this whole time? Go on, ask yourself.
What I've been fighting for, huh? What will I even accomplish going alone?
All this time, I thought it was the worrying about Xion and the pain bringing you down. I didn't realize you were lonely too.
I guess all of us are. In one way or another.
Yeah, but you've only just found out. I mean, no, not found out. Remembered.
To tell you the truth, I was actually beginning to forget I'd even lost my memory in the first place. Now that it's returned, well, you can see what I'm like. It's strange. When I think about Lenegis, it still feels like it was only a year or two ago that I was there. But then I realized what feels like years was actually centuries ago.
What about your hometown? Do you know if it's still there?
I doubt it. When the Renans invaded, the world as I knew it changed overnight. Even if the place is still there physically, I expect the people will be long gone. Certainly everyone I knew, at least. My family, my friends.
Yeah, I know how that feels. I have no home to return to either. No family waiting for me. I used to curse my bad luck that I'd ever been born a mage in the first place. Otherwise, if I hadn't, maybe my mother and father would still be alive today. Although if that had been the case, I guess I'd probably still be just another slave with no means to resist. I'd never have met up with you guys, that's for sure.
Have you learned to embrace your powers yet?
Nuh-uh. I resent them a little less than before, though. They've kept me alive this long, right? I try not to think about it too much. After all, who can predict what the future will hold? I guess what I'm trying to say is that with everything that's happened in your past, finding out you're the Sovereign and all, it's no wonder you're conflicted. Heck, honestly, I think anyone would be.
Rinwell.
First it was Xion, then it was me, and now it's you. All of us suffering, just because of some power we never even asked for.
Yeah. All this time you were suffering right in front of me, and I never even knew. I feel like I finally understand what you and Xion were going through.
You couldn't have known. Still, if you want to make it up to her, shouldn't we hurry it up and rescue her already? Poor Xion must be lonely, all by herself wherever she is.
Yeah, you're right. Let's get going.
Alphen, are we gonna go rescue Shion or what? What's gotten into you, man? Aren't you worried about her?
Do I even have any right to be?
If you were in my place, you'd say, to hell with all that. What do you want to do?
Sounds like me. Pretending I have all the answers is kind of my forte.
Come on, man. Snap out of it. This isn't like you. Look, I get it. You finally remember your past, only to feel like you've lost yourself again. You're in shock, and who wouldn't be? Worse still, you blame yourself for what happened. And yeah, I don't agree, but that doesn't mean I don't understand either. But here's the thing. None of that's got anything to do with Shion.
I guess.
It's about Naori, isn't it? Look, you're still here, aren't you? Who's to say this chick isn't alive and kicking out there somewhere, too? Fine, I've said my piece. The thing is, though, where does this leave Shion?
My power consumed me once already. I left behind a path of fire and destruction. And the same thing could happen again. I can't guarantee anyone's safety, including Shion's.
So you think we might get burned up because of your sovereign powers? I can think of worse ways to go. Come on, fight this thing! What happened to the guy who talked to me after my dad died? The one who cared enough to reach out and save me? That's the guy I was proud to follow. Not this faltering imposter who's taken his place.
Law.
No, I'm serious. What's gotten into you, man? Just give me the word and I'll beat some sense into you if that's what it takes. Now, I'm gonna ask you this once and only once. Are you serious about rescuing Shion or not? What's it gonna be, Alphen?
What do you think? Of course I want to rescue her. Hell, I'd do it right now if I could.
So then quit griping and do it already!
Listen, you're probably right about all this.
Alphen.
It's exactly like you said. Whatever happened in my past has nothing to do with Shion. But there's still so much that There I go again. So much for the inspiring Alphen of old.
He could be a pain sometimes. Besides, even a hero has to let the cracks show once in a while, right?
Yeah, I guess you're right. Just give me a little more time to fill in the cracks. And thanks, Law.
Hey, don't even mention it. You've totally got this, Alphen. I believe in you.
Back to the inn, I guess.
There you are!
What is it?
Zeugles, that's what! They're almost at the village gates!
Any closer and they'll be house hunting. I knew we shouldn't have cut through their territory.
That sounds bad.
Can you fight? No shame in bowing out if you're not up for it.
Kisara's right. You don't want to go overdoing it.
I'm up for it.
Really?
You ready?
As ready as I'll ever be. It's now or never, right?
Alphen, right! Great to have you back! Now let's do this!
Look sharp, people. If we don't act fast, they're going to get into the village.
Right. We need to hurry.
Do you sense one of your friends, Hootle?
Not this way, I guess.
Remember, if the pain's too much,
We've all got our own pain to deal with. I'm done letting others pick up my slack.
Here they come! We can't let even a single one through!
There's a firm no-Zugo policy.
Fine by me. Let's get to work then.
Severing Wind! Rising Falcon! This one's all mine! Severing Wind! You picked the wrong fight! Dragon Force! Take this!
It's almost too strong.
Look sharp! Lightning Tiger Blade!
illuminate the dark!
Dragon Storm!
Holy glimmer!
It's too fast!
Rampage. I'll trip it out. I can carve through armor.
Swordland Outbody!
I'll run you through.
Wind astral energy! Now!
Totally! In an instant! Impact Block! Dragon Force! Wind! Move out! Much better. I'm on it! Severing Wind!
Illuminate the dark!
Now or never.
This one's all mine! Wind! Totally! In an instant! Impact Block!
Alphen, you okay?
I'm fine. This pain thing really hurts, huh?
But hey, at least you're still alive.
It wouldn't be called pain if it was pleasant. It can be pretty useful, though. It's good motivation to improve and get stronger.
Guess I've got a lot of room to improve in that regard.
Anyway, I'm glad we could protect the village, especially after everything they've done for us.
Yeah.
You know, Thistleim kind of reminds me of home. The people here have hidden themselves away out of the fear of being found, always watching their backs. Though in the end, home was destroyed anyway.
That won't happen here.
Oh? Is that a hint of fighting spirit I sense?
Yeah. I won't lie. Some of these memories will take a while to process. But I've learned something too. My rage, this fury I feel at our so-called rulers, it comes from having so much of myself stripped away from me back then. Friends, family, home. They took everything from me and left me with nothing but guilt. I was completely alone. At least that's what I thought. But not anymore. Since I awakened, I've met people who I care about. Friends who hold me up. Friends who make me feel like I'm worth something. And I won't lose that. Not ever again. I'll protect those bonds with everything I have. That's why I need to keep fighting.
But Xion comes first.
Of course. First we rescue Xion, then we defeat Volron and liberate Dana. Everyone, will you fight with me?
Say the word and I'm there.
Certainly no objections.
Then it's agreed. Our next stop will be the capital, Pelegion. According to the villagers, there's a huge cliff separating Thistleum from the capital. Luckily for us, there's a path we can use to climb up.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go.
We don't know what lies ahead. We should prepare well before we venture forth.
Yeah, can't exactly fight at the top of your game when you're hungry.
Good point. Let's stop by the inn and plan our next move from there. By the way, how is Mahavar doing? Wait, don't tell me we still haven't found him.
It's not like we haven't been looking. I've covered the whole length and breadth of the coast, but...
All of the other crew members are accounted for, including us. But we weren't able to find Mahavar. He's still missing.
I see.
Perhaps he couldn't bring himself to abandon the ship.
You mean at the bottom of the ocean? Damn it.
We don't know that it sank. We all washed up on the same shore. If the ship went down, isn't it strange we haven't come across a single piece of debris?
Do you think he might still be alive somewhere out there?
I think stranger things have happened. Whether he's alive or otherwise, we've exhausted all the avenues available to us. All we can do now is press on ahead.
Fine, let's get going. Thistleum was founded by Danans fleeing the tyranny of Renan lords, right? But when you first came, they must have known Dohalim was Renan. So why do you think they let us in?
They almost didn't. But it wasn't just Dohalim they were wary of. They didn't trust any of us.
Even the weird Danans just like them?
When you live life in constant fear of being pursued, it's only a matter of time before all outsiders start to seem a potential threat.
I suppose that makes sense. So how did you convince them to trust us?
You saw how destitute the village was. They needed food, badly. We hunted some Zeugles for them. That seemed to do the trick.
Of course, a little magic-assisted roast didn't hurt things.
Never underestimate a full stomach's ability to put a person at ease. It turns out a hearty meal can be a powerful weapon. Something's on your mind. You having second thoughts about rescuing Xion?
Of course not. Xion's our friend. Almeidrea was the one I hated. For as long as I can remember, she served as a symbol to me of everything Renan. But ever since getting to know Xion, I realized it doesn't make sense to group people together like that. Every individual is different.
I see.
Besides, the situation with Almeidrea was something else entirely. I'd already decided I wasn't going to kill her, but when I saw her die right in front of me, a part of me thought it served her right, that she'd gotten what she deserved. But another part regretted that someone else had come along and killed her instead. Don't get me wrong. If I had the chance again, I still wouldn't kill her. But it's not like I'll be shedding any tears now that she's gone. It's all so confusing. I don't know how to make sense of any of it.
Who said it had to make sense?
Huh?
Rinwell, you've done nothing wrong. You've started to question the beliefs you've held all your life. It's only natural for you to feel disoriented. You didn't give in to the hatred you felt for Almeidrea. You made a choice not to kill her. And that's significant, whether you realize it or not. As for what it means exactly, that might be worth taking some time to figure out on your own.
Some time.
Or don't, if you don't want to. It's just an idea. I'm still searching too, remember?
No, I think you're right. It can't hurt to keep searching after all. And hey, thanks, Kisara.